Welcome to what might be the most important and rewarding journey of your life. A journey into the dynamics of the mind that, once you understand, can put you in charge of your destiny. What is the secret of those who lead successful lives? A secret is something kept from the knowledge of anyone except those who have the special privilege to know about it. This video will demonstrate that you were born with the privilege of knowing this secret, and that you are already using it on a regular basis. But you might not be aware that you are using it, and you might not be using it to your advantage. I'm going to show you what you are doing that might not be to your benefit, and how to turn that same energy around to your advantage. I will demonstrate that if you apply the principles I'm going to show you, you will see positive changes in your life that you have never imagined. You're probably thinking, here we go with another one of those magical solutions, another genie in the bottle gimmick, another video that will make those who made it richer and leave me poorer than I was before I purchased it. The message in this video is not about magic, I assure you. It's about knowledge that, when applied, sets in motion a process of transformation that works like magic and gives you the power to change your life into what you want it to be. The key word here is apply. As you know, nothing happens without effort. This is not to say that what you are going to learn will be complicated and will take a tremendous amount of time and labor for you to master. Once I make you aware of certain facts, you will find that the knowledge is easy to understand, the techniques are simple, the effort it takes is small, and the positive results you will get will be huge. Follow me on this journey, and you will quickly begin to create the experiences you desire and become the man or woman you want to be. There are many areas of knowledge and interest in life. You've learned reading, writing, mathematics, social sciences, etc. All great and useful branches of knowledge. But probably no one has ever taught you about the most important thing in your life: the correct use of your mind. Most of us grow up basically ignorant of the fact that we can change our thoughts about things that we don't want in our lives and affect a change of feelings, behavior, and circumstances. We spend much of our time thinking about our unlucky lot, feeling sorry for ourselves, and feeling trapped. We get so accustomed to a state of defeat that sometimes we go even as far as to sabotage our chances at improving our lives just to prove to ourselves and to the world that there is no way for our lives to change. If we continue in our ignorance of the power of the mind, not only will our lives continue to be that terrible, chances are they're going to get worse. Each of you who has the courage to experiment with the concepts and techniques I will explain will have the opportunity to achieve a greater freedom in many areas of your lives than you have experienced before. Life is an adventure. Adventures are exciting. At least they're meant to be. They give us the opportunity to discover, to learn, to think and act swiftly, and to feel alive and victorious. Sometimes adventures entail risks, but in our case, the only thing you are risking is to move out of where you don't want to be. Life is a place where we are constantly challenged with choices. The only choice we can never make is not to choose, because a decision to not choose is itself a choice. We cannot avoid the adventure without consequences. We cannot avoid risks without depriving ourselves of the possibilities for improvement. We cannot avoid choosing. So let's accept the challenges of this great adventure we call life. Let's embrace our responsibility to choose. Let's gain the knowledge we need, and let's place ourselves in the direction of empowerment and freedom. In the adventure of life, our biggest enemy is lack of knowledge. If, as individuals and as a species, we knew everything, there would be no more struggling, no more suffering, no more lack of anything. We would experience complete freedom from all sorts of limitation. Well, we don't know everything. And guess what? We never will. Believe that. And we really don't need to in order to live a good life. But we need to know one fact. We need to know that we are creators, that we create every day of our lives. But knowledge should be more than learning a few facts. It should be grounded in understanding. Understanding comes from sincere personal reflection. True understanding transforms and compels us to apply the knowledge we have gained. Knowledge and understanding of the dynamics of our mind is the alpha and the omega of true freedom. We must understand that through our minds we create constantly. We must understand how the process of creation happens. And we must understand what it is that we create. Even though we have but one mind, mind has two aspects, the conscious and the subconscious. The conscious mind is what we use to perceive, to reason, to make decisions on a moment-by-moment basis. The subconscious mind is where we store all the information we absorb and process. We are aware of our thoughts in our conscious minds. We know that we are thinking, and we know what we are thinking. If, for example, we are thinking about where we are going to spend our next vacation, we become aware of the fact that we are thinking about it and what it is that we are thinking. Follow me? And because we are aware of what is going on in our mind, we have a certain control. For example, we can choose to stop thinking about it and turn our attention to something else. On the other hand, we are not aware of what is going on in our subconscious mind, and therefore we cannot control it. This is not always a bad thing. In fact, it can be a great thing. Take, for example, a child learning how to take his first steps. While he is learning to walk, he is storing in his subconscious mind all the new information he is getting and all the discoveries he is making about walking. Eventually, he doesn't have to think about all the little movements and calculations that he makes while walking. He just makes a conscious decision to walk, and the subconscious mind takes over, and he walks with almost no effort. This is the power and the extreme usefulness of the subconscious mind. Without it, we would have to spend so much time and energy reasoning everything out that the simplest task would burn us out every time. Another example for you. Think of a musician. He spends numberless hours practicing all the techniques and nuances that he must learn to play a piece of music in a satisfactory way. If, during a performance, he would have to think about each note and what to do with it, he would never achieve any degree of musicality. The subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between right and wrong walking, and good and bad music. All it does is to take in the information, store it, and put it to use when one engages in a certain activity. You can see that the subconscious mind is a great and faithful tool, and very much like a computer. What you get out of a computer is what you put in it. The problem is not what comes out of the computer, but the kind of information we input into it. The same goes for the subconscious mind. It always gives back to us what we put in it. Can you imagine trying to walk like a human being and come out walking like a monkey? Doesn't happen. Our analogy between the mind and the computer only goes so far. Wrong information inputted in a computer can be easily deleted or changed. But information committed to the subconscious mind cannot be undone as easily. Nothing is probably as difficult to the average human being as changing subconscious information. Information that can affect one or all facets of our lives for as long as we live. So it's easy to see that we must be extremely careful with the information we feed our subconscious mind. The purpose of this video is to teach you how the mind works, to make it work for you and not against you, and to help you undo mental patterns and corresponding behaviors that don't serve you well. We'll be looking at several issues that bind most people. We'll discuss why they are a problem and how by changing our views based on proper understanding and effective techniques, we can be free from their negative effects. The first one is the inability to accept ourselves as we are. The prerequisite for transformation is not the will to change, but on the contrary, the will to accept ourselves as we are. By accepting ourselves as we are, unconditionally, with no judgment and no condemnation, we establish a state of grace with ourselves, which will give us the power to move on. If you decide to renovate an old house, you can't do it by rejecting the house for being old and in need of repair. You first must accept the house as it is. Then you decide what to keep and what to change. And finally, you set out to make the necessary repairs, improvements, and renovations. Eventually, you have a house that conforms to your idea of how the house should be, and enjoy the fruits of your investments and labor. It's the same with your own person. You must first accept, embrace, and love the person you are now, before you can even hope to bring transformation into your being. This is necessary for at least 3 main reasons. First, because you cannot start such an important and vital project from a position of weakness, lack of self-acceptance means self-hate. You can't hate yourself and seriously want to experience a better life. Self-hate is not a desire for change, but another way to sabotage your opportunity to change. The second reason is that you cannot change anything that you don't understand, and you cannot understand anything that you refuse to accept, at least for consideration. The third reason is that the subconscious mind responds in kind. If it hears you say that you're happy with yourself, it creates further happy feelings and opens your eyes to the circumstances you desire. If it hears you deprecating yourself, it creates further feelings of disapproval and subsequent events that will make positive change impossible. Believe it. Condemnation and self-criticism are not fruitful. Yes, you have made mistakes, probably a myriad of them, like the rest of us. You feel inadequate, ignorant, maybe even stupid. You are angry and wish you could erase in a single stroke everything you don't like about yourself. But guess what? You can't. You need the person you are in order to become the person you want to be. And you need all of it. You can't get anywhere by wishing yourself there. You get somewhere by moving from where you are. Be grateful that you are alive and that somehow you've been guided to make decisions, to take steps to improve your lot, such as watching this presentation. Good for you. Take an objective look at yourself. Take some distance. See yourself as you would see another person. Tell this person to forget his or her hurts, because with your help, he or she is going to be fine and can grow to be the happy and free individual he or she wants to be. If you can do this, you're already more than halfway to where you want to be. It's true. And not only are you going to get the results you want, but you will also enjoy the journey. And one more thing. When you think you reached your destination, don't stop there. Keep going, because there's no destination in the journey of life. The journey is the destination. It's tough, and it seems unfair. But stopping is complacency. Complacency is stagnation. Stagnation is the exact opposite of life and not the way out of bondage. The way of an authentic life is never-ending growth, I promise you. So, acceptance is where it all begins. Take a long look at yourself, your body, your mentality, your emotions, your memories, your strengths, your weaknesses, your beliefs, your disbeliefs, and have the courage to say, I accept myself, I appreciate myself, and I love myself just as I am. From this affirmation and the emotion it will generate, you will gain the strength to embark in your adventure of transformation. We get into destructive relationships. We overeat. We neglect our basic needs and abuse our bodies. We get angry for no practical reason. We wish we could change, but we can't. Why is that? With the help of those who have formed or deformed us, and through our own laziness and ignorance, we form habits that we find impossible to break. We blame our parents, the environment, our genes, our God. The list of blame goes on endlessly. Unfortunately, blame does not solve the problems. In fact, it perpetuates them. Is there a solution to these vicious cycles of unwanted behavior? Psychologists believe there is, through therapy and the insights that one can gain from it. Sociologists believe that reforms in institutions can bring about changes. Religions believe the answer is in accepting certain dogmas and following certain practices. Different institutions advocate different paths to mental, emotional, and spiritual salvation. There is some truth in most of their claims, but one fact is sure in all cases, that one cannot change until one is ready, and that he or she will not feel ready until they believe change is possible. But how can you get yourself to believe in the first place? Well, here's where the message in this presentation comes in. Follow me here. Pay attention. I'm going to teach you how to believe. I'm convinced of two things. That there is no need of great faith to change your life, and that one cannot wait forever to be ready to make the changes one desires. The desire by itself is an indication that an individual is ready for change. What the individual needs is a practical technique to break old patterns and establish new ones. I propose to you that verbal affirmations are the key to change. But I have to develop my premise further before expecting you to become convinced to the point that you will want to act on it using the techniques I will put forward here. Let's first examine how we develop habits of behavior. All habits start with one single action. You smoke a cigarette. If you repeat this action enough times, before you know it, you do it automatically, without thinking. If you try to stop doing it, you might find it difficult, if not virtually impossible. So habits are repeated behavior that is reinforced through repetition. If there's been no initial action, there would have been no repetition, and you would not have formed the habit in the first place. The same process that goes into forming a bad habit applies to the forming of a good habit. As I mentioned before, habits are essential to our ability to function as human beings. Imagine having to think every time you had to take a step. The exertion of energy would make it impossible to attend effectively to all of our daily needs and functions. So, once we learn it as children, we never have to think about it again. It's as if we didn't have to walk our legs anymore. The legs walk us. Aristotle wrote, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. It has been said that many times, the very thing that may kill you may also heal you. Your understanding of the habit-forming process can be the most powerful tool you'll ever have at your disposal. The first step is the hardest step to take. When taking that first step, you have to struggle against inertia. What is inertia? It's the tendency of a body at rest to remain at rest, or of a body in motion to stay in motion, unless disturbed by an external force. It's the tendency of things to preserve their present state, whether it be of rest or of moving. Inertia applies to mental processes as much as it applies to physical processes. If you manage to overcome inertia and set the process in motion, the same principle that kept things at a standstill will keep them moving. As you repeat the action or behavior, you need to apply less effort every time until you get to a point where you don't need to apply any conscious effort at all. The problem that most people have is to get things going. They might have the desire to make a change, but they don't know how to do it. Believe me? They might make resolutions after resolution and never take that first step for change. Individuals with the desire to change might discuss their problems with their therapists for months, if not years. They might talk about them with their friends and confidants, perhaps hoping for a magical solution. But that solution never materializes. If they're religious, They might get on their knees and pray. And still, the answer may never come. These individuals have some of the ingredients necessary to effect a change: desire, willpower, motivating factors, and still nothing happens. So what's missing? What is it that others have that they don't? What makes some people successful and others not? What makes some people believe that their prayers have been answered while others lose their faith in their God? They simply don't know how to set the process in motion. Pay attention here. The missing link is a technique that has to do with make-believe, pretense, if you will. Pretense? Isn't that like lying? In a way, it is lying, but then it might not be. Remember what I said before: what may kill you may also heal you. What has gotten you in trouble is make-believe or pretense. Someone, or maybe you yourself, said that you are not adequate enough to get that job you want. You're not handsome, beautiful, confident enough to attract the kind of life partner that you want. Or God didn't give you a strong enough body to feel the energy and health you desire to enjoy. When these things found their way to your mind, you pretended they were true. Pretended. You believed them and you began to act accordingly. Good news. You can reverse this. You can use the power of pretense to convince yourself that you can get the job you always wanted, the kind of woman or man you long for, and the health you want to enjoy. It's true. Pretend that you have what you desire right now. Make believe you do. Act as if you have what you desire right now. The kind of health you want, the material things you desire, the peace and harmony you crave for. And the fulfillment of that desire in time will manifest itself. Psychological pioneer William James wrote, "The greatest discovery of my generation is that a human being can alter his life by altering his attitude." Fact. In other words, change your outlook. Change the way you see things. Change what you keep telling yourself. And your reality will change too. I promise. Acting in this way might be more easily said than done. I get it. At first it might come unnatural, stilted. But only until you convince yourself. What gets conviction going? Thoughts and emotions do. First come the thoughts, and the emotions follow. What gets the thoughts going? Words do. Yes, simple but meaningful vocal sounds. Words are the most powerful tool for change in your arsenal. Words are the easiest things to use. You might call it a free commodity. If you speak the word, the thought will follow. The thought will give rise to a corresponding emotion. And the emotion, which means getting things in motion, will facilitate, if not actually compel, the corresponding action or behavior. You following me? So here's the whole secret for changing the cycle of unwanted behavior and starting new cycles. Pay attention. You have to speak the word. You have to verbalize what you desire affirmatively. You have to get into the habit of making positive affirmations. Some of us spend very little time in creative thinking. We spend a lot of our time, maybe even most of our time, in repeating self-scripts. Negative self-scripts result in overdependence on the approval of others. They result in lack of self-esteem, feelings of unworthiness, a poor self-image, and lack of confidence in your ability to make life work for you. They result in immobilization, so you are unable to take risks in life. You can't make changes. You believe that your only role in life is to be victimized by people and situations that you cannot escape. They convince you that you are a loser and are meant to remain as such. Since negative self-scripts predict the worst, you, at a subconscious level, work to succeed in fulfilling the negative prophecy of failure, rejection, loss, disapproval, or any other catastrophe or malady. We stated this during the first part of this presentation, but it's worth repeating. You get it? The negative emotions that your self-scripts generate can become so ingrained in your being that you can lose hope, become depressed, and suffer the terrible consequences that come with it. In extreme, but not so rare cases, you can become self-destructive to the point of becoming physically ill or suicidal. You have to reverse negativism and get into the habit of making positive affirmations. Self-affirmations are healing, constructive self-scripts you give to yourself to counter your negative self-scripts. They are vehicles by which you can free yourself from the overdependence on others' opinions, attitudes, or feelings about you and feel good about yourself. They are the visualization of a new order and sense in your life, which you can work towards achieving. When you repeat a positive affirmation, you take personal responsibility for your health and your emotional stability. You let go of negative emotional baggage that you've been carrying along with you. Only then will you be able to deal with your life in a realistic and positive manner. When you self-affirm, you take an inventory of your attributes, your strengths, talents, and potential. You give yourself permission to grow, to change, to take risks, to rise up, and to create a better life for yourself. Positive self-scripts, or affirmations, are constructive, self-fulfilling prophecies that when visualized, imagined, or believed in, do come true. There are a few important points to know about affirmations. First, use the present tense whenever possible. Do not use the future tense. The past and the future are frames of reference for the conscious mind only. The subconscious mind has no clear concept of any time except for the present. If you want to reach your subconscious mind effectively, you have to speak to it in the present tense. You have to tell your subconscious mind that what you desire is already manifested in the now moment. This does not mean that if you use the future, you'll be doing something wrong. No, you won't. Anything you say that is positive is better than anything you might say that is negative, in whichever tense you say it. It's just that it's not as effective. Understand? Second, don't use negatives. Use the most positive terms you can. Again, negatives are frames of reference for the conscious mind. The subconscious mind does not relate to it. If you say, "I'm not sick," your subconscious mind ignores the not part and believes the condition of sick. Therefore, don't say, "I'm not sick." Say instead, "I'm healthy," or any other statement that affirms not the undesired condition, but the desired one. Of course, saying, "I'm not sick," is better than saying, "I'm sick." If in some cases you feel more comfortable using the negative and feel that they arouse the right emotion within you, then use them. More on this later as I talk about denials. Third, write them down. The act of writing them will add another dimension to the process of impressing the mind with the message. Fourth, read them aloud when you can, and put some feeling in what you say. The more feeling and conviction you put into an affirmation, the stronger the affirmation will be. Fifth, repeat your affirmations. Being repetitive and persistent helps to set them in your mind and in your subconscious being. It convinces your mind that you really believe what you are saying. Repetition is a very important technique. You hear me? Sixth, believe that what you are saying is true. When you read a novel or watch a movie, you suspend your disbelief. You cannot enjoy a piece of fiction unless you momentarily make a decision to ignore your rational mind and believe everything that the author is presenting to you. When you read an affirmation, you need to do the same thing. You momentarily have to stop rationalizing and believe that what you are saying is true. regardless of how it appears. 7th, when you state your affirmations, add the word now or today for further immediacy. 8th, make your affirmations short and specific. Some people who advocate the concept of self-affirmation believe in using the words can and will. I don't see any harm in doing that, but to me, can indicates potential. It does not tell the subconscious that a particular goal is real and already accomplished. Will puts a goal in an undetermined future time. I prefer to stick to the present because to me, that is the tense of the subconscious. Now I want to discuss briefly some other ways to influence your mind in a positive way. Denials are one of them. Saying something like, I was not born to be a victim, or I refuse to let others decide my happiness. Those are ways of influencing your mind in a positive way. Again, you might prefer to say, I was born to be a winner, or I decide my own happiness. But if you feel comfortable with denials, use them. Visualization is a very effective way to influence your subconscious mind. It might be even more so than words because the subconscious is more susceptible to concrete images than abstract thinking. Follow me? But let's acknowledge the fact that words almost always evoke images, sometimes even when our thinking is strictly conceptual. But do use visualization because it's a very powerful technique. Mirror work, in conjunction with verbal affirmation, can add impact to your affirmations. Face the mirror and say to yourself, you are beautiful, you are handsome, you are a capable human being, I love you, and so on. You get the idea. You can help yourself also through bibliotherapy. By that I mean to read insightful and inspirational books. You probably already do. Reading insightful and inspirational books is like affirming during most of the time you spend reading them. What you don't do can be as helpful as what you do. So, don't watch negative and violent movies. Don't read depressing books. And avoid the news as much as you can. The most direct way to break patterns of unwanted behavior is by behaving the way you desire to behave. Of course, if this were easy, you wouldn't need the knowledge I've been sharing with you, which is designed to help you get there. But if you can manage to do it, then by all means, it works perfectly. I believe that by now, most of you agree with the arguments I have made. Nevertheless, you will most certainly, and rightfully, ask yourselves if I have given any consideration to the things in life and in the world that no amount of affirmation can change. I have. There are many things we cannot change. The basic build of our body, the color of our skin, the family we were born into, the weather, world events, and our past, just to name a few. There are many inevitables that we cannot change because they have nothing to do with our individual subconscious motivation. They are part of the human condition or the laws and cycles of physics. Nevertheless, we can still exert the power of affirmation in the realm of perception. In other words, we can choose to see the positive in them instead of the negative. An artist does not look at his canvas as a limitation, but as a defining space to contain his vision. What appears as limitation is really a challenge and an opportunity to give his vision creative and visible form. Before I leave this topic, I want to remind you of a very important inevitable. That's our responsibility to make choices. It's a choice we have no choice about. But this inevitable is the very thing that validates all that we can control and all that we cannot. There is a lot that we can change, more than most people will ever realize. Let's put our creative efforts on that. And let's put the rest of our efforts on choosing the way we want to see and experience what we cannot control. Affirmation makes all that possible. During the course of this presentation, you have learned that the mind has a conscious and subconscious aspect, and that both aspects are powerful tools, which, wrongly used, can create havoc, and correctly used, can achieve miraculous feats. You have learned the difference between knowledge and understanding, and realize that only true understanding can move you into action. We have talked about the concept of inertia and how that comes into play when we form habits. And we discussed how we can consciously establish habits that can help us think and behave as we want to, automatically. I introduced the idea of making believe. I made you understand that it's not such a foreign practice in each of our lives, and, like the mind, it can be used destructively or constructively. We spent time talking about the consequences of negative self-scripts and the necessity to create new, positive self-scripts if we want to change the way we feel about ourselves, our lives, our world, and create the experiences we want. I made clear that the first prerequisite to transformation is self-acceptance. Because by accepting yourself as you are, you operate from a position of love, peace, and power, and have a good chance to succeed. Everything that we discussed led to a thorough understanding and appreciation of the end result, which is the continuous practice of positive affirmation. I warned you against unrealistic expectations and showed you that things that sometimes look as limitation can be turned around and seen as defining sources for creativity. Most, if not all people, resist change, especially when change affects their way of thinking. I've tried to break this resistance by giving you a rationale that I hope has been relatively easy to follow and convincing enough to compel you to adopt it. We live in a world where the blind lead the blind in a never-ending cycle of unnecessary darkness and suffering. We could instead promote the research, the discovery, and the advancement of the knowledge necessary to make the changes that need to be made in order to live our lives in this planet as constructively and happily as we could. Why are things the way they are? Why is it that we fail to learn from the lessons that history and daily events try to teach us? Is it something in our nature? Is it the will of some God? I don't think so. We have options and are free to choose. Why is it that we choose so badly and we have to end up looking at our reality so hopelessly? The answer might be a lot less complicated than we try to make it. We continue to make bad choices, not because we are powerless to make good ones, but because we have developed and are so set in bad habits that we find it impossible to break the cycle and set ourselves free. Free to choose the options that can make the pursuit of happiness reachable for all of us. We have developed and are victims of bad collective habits. The force of the inertia that our past history has set in motion has enslaved us to the point that we don't even know that we've ever had anything to do in the creation of the sad reality of our present world. The goal of this video is not, per se, to solve the problems of the world. It is to help solve the problems of individuals like you and me. But of course, the world is made up of individuals. And ultimately, the problems of the world can be solved only one individual at a time. The place to start is with you and me. And the time is now. And then who knows, maybe perhaps one day the entire world will be free from the shackles of ignorance. But as for now, remember that your destiny is in your hands, or rather, your mind. Feed your mind the food of positive affirmations and become the man or woman you want to be. Thank you.
In the second part of our program, you will hear affirmations on physical and mental health, attractiveness, emotional health, spirituality, family, social life, self-love and self-acceptance, abundance and success, and forgiveness. They are spoken against the backdrop of peaceful visual scenery. Sit back, relax, listen, and internalize their meaning. Watch this entire video several times until the material in it becomes your own, and enjoy the sense of genuine power that positive transformation will bring you.
I enjoy perfect health.
Every organ and every system in my body functions as it should.
I have perfect circulation.
I have perfect digestion.
I have excellent elimination.
I have excellent metabolism.
I have perfect memory.
I have perfect eyesight.
I have perfect hearing.
My immune system works as it should.
I am strong.
I am full of energy and vitality.
I am able to reach and maintain my ideal weight.
I get proper rest.
My memory is perfect.
I experience perfect clarity of mind.
I love and take good care of my body, and my body takes good care of me.
If there is anything in my body that needs healing, this healing is at work in me right now.
I am a beautiful person.
I love my body.
I appreciate my uniqueness.
I am likable.
I am a neat and stylish dresser.
I am irresistible.
I am sensuous.
I show signs of availability for love.
I attract the right mate for me.
I love myself, and everyone I want to feel love for me loves me with all of their hearts.
I am in touch with my feelings.
I grow emotionally stronger every day.
I choose to be happy in all situations.
I smile a lot.
I am calm.
I am serene.
I am carefree.
I am optimistic.
I am tolerant.
I am spontaneous.
I enjoy my own company.
I value myself for who I am.
I am at peace with God, with myself, and with the world.
I am filled with love for myself and for the people that surround me.
I live in the spirit of gratitude.
I am grateful for my past, my present, and my future.
I am at one with God and with His creation.
Beautiful things happen in my life daily.
I believe in myself.
I face my fears courageously.
I laugh and have fun.
I am true to myself.
I experience the excitement of growth daily.
I am free of the negative influences of my parents.
I am free of the negative influences of my religion.
I am free of the negative influences of my culture.
I am free of feelings of guilt.
I am free of negative memories.
I am free of self-imposed standards.
I am free of superstitions.
I am free of the effect of criticism.
I am free of false concepts of God.
I am free of false beliefs.
I am free of the negative effects of the past.
I am free of false suggestions.
I am free of habits I do not want.
I am kind.
I am cheerful.
I live life moment by moment and to the fullest.
I laugh easily.
I exercise patience in everything and with everyone.
I am complete as I am.
I am full of joy.
I am generous.
Every day is better than the day before.
I am open-minded.
I have a good sense of humor.
I am on the path of spiritual growth.
All spiritual understanding I need is now revealed to me.
I am a good spouse.
I am a good parent.
I love my spouse, and my spouse loves me.
I love my children, and my children love me.
I enjoy the company I desire.
I am genuinely interested in other people.
I accept everyone as they are.
I give praise freely and accept praise gracefully.
I have good friends that I can count on.
I am easygoing.
I am outgoing.
I am sociable.
I am a sensitive person.
I am a friendly person.
I empathize with other people.
I am relaxed and calm in my interactions.
I always look for the best in each person, situation, and thing.
I love myself unconditionally.
I accept myself just as I am.
I accept the fact that I am human and not perfect.
I take responsibility for my own life.
I am best friend to myself.
I am worthy of love.
I grow in love daily.
I deserve to love and to be loved.
I owe no one explanations for my behavior, which is legally, morally, and ethically correct.
I have the right to feel the way I do.
I'm happy with myself and with my life.
I'm living a life full of joy, excitement, and satisfaction.
I deserve to relax and take it easy.
I like myself better each day.
I value respect and honor myself.
I bless what I am and what I have.
I love being me.
I give love freely and accept love freely.
I am a deserving human being.
I deserve to be visible to myself and others.
I deserve to have my needs and wants met.
I deserve to have and express my feelings.
I deserve to be seen and heard.
I deserve to be who I am and not what others want me to be.
I deserve to love and to be loved.
I have within myself all I need to grow in self-esteem, self-confidence, and self-respect.
I have the right to say no if I want to.
Abundance is mine.
I am successful in all that I do.
I am prosperous in every area of my life.
I am a very productive person.
I deserve to enjoy the fruits of my labor.
I deserve to be rewarded for what I do.
I am abundantly rewarded for all the work I do.
I have more than enough money to take care of all my needs.
My possibilities are endless.
Life is full of opportunities. I see and embrace them.
I handle my finances wisely, and I am financially secure.
I am free of beliefs in lack or limitation.
I attract good luck.
I create harmonious surroundings for myself.
I always demonstrate my greatest good.
I am a winner.
I am a capable human being.
I have the ability to handle any situation.
I am able to handle any problem I face.
I am persistent in my pursuits.
Taking risks is the path to growth, and I am able to take risks and achieve positive change.
I manage my time effectively.
I am confident.
I am assertive.
I am self-sufficient.
I am flexible.
I am intelligent.
I am insightful.
I am articulate.
I am intuitive.
I am decisive.
I am purposeful.
I am consistent.
I am focused.
I am goal-oriented.
I am full of enthusiasm.
I am a problem solver.
I can do anything I put my mind to.
I excel in everything I do.
I was born to make a positive difference.
I look forward instead of backward.
The time for me to act is now.
I welcome challenges.
I think successful, I dress successful, I act successful, I talk successful, and I am successful.
All I need to know to be successful in all of my endeavors is now revealed to me.
I have all the resources I need to achieve all the goals I want to achieve.
There is nothing I have done that I cannot forgive.
I have always done the best I could, knowing what I did at the time I did it.
I deserve a good life.
I am a lovable, capable, and special person.
I let go of hurt and pain from the past, which have prevented my inner healing and growth.
I let go of undesirable experiences from my past.
I let go of everything I need to let go of and make room for the new.
I accept what has been, what is, and what will be without fear, anger, or judgment.
I see myself and everyone as equal.
I forgive everyone without exception, no matter what they may have done.
I forgive myself wholeheartedly.
I resolutely turn my back on the past, good or bad, and live only in the present.
I believe in the power of my word.
I believe in the power of my affirmations.
Whatever I see that I don't like, I can change through the power of positive affirmation.
I hope you enjoyed and will continue listening to these affirmations. Be well and stay positive.